Welcome to James Cotter Field on the joint campus of Boston College High School in UMass Boston. As today, the UMass Boston Beacons get their lacrosse season underway when they host the New England College Pilgrims. Good afternoon, I'm Alex Barth. As the calendar turns to March, spring sports season gets in full swing. We got lacrosse today, baseball tomorrow, softball. I believe I don't have it in front of me, but I know it's right around the corner as well. And it's 70 degrees, wouldn't you know it, on March 1st in Boston, although it's supposed to snow next week. That's confusing. What's not confusing is that UMass Boston has trended upwards in the last 3 years on the lacrosse field. 2 years ago, a sub-500 team at 8-10, getting bounced in the first round of the conference playoffs. But 2 years later, they were 12-6, 6 games above 500, and over 500 in the conference. And they look to get back to the positive side today, and they do so returning 2 All-Americans from last season. Anthony Tortora and Jack Dillon, 2 defensemen, will come back. Calvin Lee was supposed to be back, but suffered an injury early this week. His status for the season is unknown. Their opponents today, the New England College Pilgrims, coming off a 13-7 year in which they were undefeated in the North Atlantic Conference and made the NCAA tournament before getting bounced in the first round by powerhouse St. Lawrence. They'll try to get their first win against the Beacons since 1982. When they won by 10-7, the Beacons have won the 2 previous meetings since then. Take a look at how the teams match up now. The stats from last season, both teams pretty similar defensively. Offensively, the Pilgrims with a bit of an edge, but playing in a more offensive balanced conference. Player to watch for this one, like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, returning all-conference player Jack Dillon, the junior from Barrington, Rhode Island, led the team last year in both ground balls and caused turnovers. 79 and 40 respectively in 18 games. He also added 7 points last year again as a long stick midfielder. He'll factor in the defensive side. At least he'll get to start defensively today, and we will see where he goes from there. As the teams get ready, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from last season. We'll be back on the other side with the starting lineups. Keep it right here. We're getting ready for men's lacrosse, UMass Boston and New England College on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Get that pass though, as it was a weak one, and now the other way, it's Murphy for UMass Boston. Short-handed chance, Smith moves in, it's goal! Beacons not crisp on their pass. Setting goals for Power needs the clock. Four working 1-on-3 needs some help. Somehow manages to evade all. Smith gives it to Materos. Takes a shot sleep by Brian Parsons. Defender. Got a mark. Then gives it for Duggan. Winds up and scores. 10.45 goals against average. In charge the shot. And wind up from Kennedy. He looks to come out. Makes a move. Flips it back to the middle. Behind his back at one.
All the people all around the world.
Over for Weiss. Across the goal line. Fed over.
So as the Beacons get underway, taking a look at what the start of their season will look like here against New England College today. Daniel Webster College comes in on Saturday. That game's been moved, if you haven't looked in the last couple days, up to a 1 o'clock start time. We'll have that for you right here. Then the Beacons play 3 of their next 4 on the road. They'll be at Nichols College, a quick home game against Johnson and Wales on March 11th. Then they head to upstate New York to take on Hartwick before returning to Boston for a technical road contest with MIT. And as we get ready here, we take a look at the starting lineups. Important to note, both teams missing important players. Keenan Haas, a freshman defenseman for New England College. More importantly, Connor Freeze, sophomore long-stick midfielder who last year was the team's leading defender, will not play for New England College. They also play hockey. They will be taking part in the conference tournament. UMass Boston will be without Calvin Lee, like I mentioned, the injury earlier in the week. We're now going to step aside. PA announcer Seth Orensky will give the starters in the national anthem. We'll be back with the opening faceoff.
A sophomore attackman from Henniker, New Hampshire, number 9, Daniel Medvex. A sophomore midfielder from St. Albans, Vermont, number 18, Chandler Shover. A senior defenseman from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, number 19, Hunter Coakley. A freshman attackman from Ware, New Hampshire, number 22, Jacob Blanchette. A freshman defenseman from Concord, New Hampshire, number 25, Cameron Kasavoff. A freshman defenseman from Westbrook, Maine, number 40, Stephen Shackley. A junior attackman from Ware, New Hampshire, number 77, Matt Richard. A senior attackman from Norwalk, Connecticut, number 88, Sean Largay. And in net for the Pilgrims, a sophomore from San Francisco, California, number 31, William Platt. The Pilgrims are coached by Jed Brown. He's assisted by Matt Burke and Ross Mondello. And now the starters for your UMass Boston Beacons. A junior attackman from Syracuse, New York, number 7, Clay Arnold. A junior midfielder from Syracuse, New York, number 8, Croy Arnold. A senior midfielder from Medford, Massachusetts, number 10, Anthony Tortora. A freshman defenseman from Watertown, Massachusetts, number 13, Derek D. P. Trantonio. A freshman midfielder from Weston, Massachusetts, number 18, Will Christensen. A sophomore defenseman from Watertown, Massachusetts, number 19, Matt Murphy. A junior long-stick midfielder from Barrington, Rhode Island, number 22, Jack Dillon. A freshman attackman from Hudson, Massachusetts, number 24, Adam Cariveau. A junior defenseman from Medfield, Massachusetts, number 29, Jim Gannon. And making his collegiate debut in net, number 15, from Melrose, Massachusetts, Alex Surratt. The Beacons are coached by Tyler Lowe in his 7th season. He's assisted by Jason Wellmeyer, Anthony Fitty, Spencer Lowe, and Chris St. George. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise and take off your caps for the play of the national anthem. Today's officials are as follows. Our referee is Don Phelan. The head umpire, Brian Lanane, and our field judge, Tim Ginecco. Just a reminder that the NCAA, the Little East Conference, and UMass Boston promote good sportsmanship by student-athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives, as well as public intoxication, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco products, are grounds for removal from athletic competition and other disciplinary.
Welcome back to James Carter Field. About to get underway. If you missed the starting lineups, we'll run through them here real quick once again. First for the visiting Pilgrims of New England College, the attackmen of Daniel Mendvez, Jacob Banchette, and Sean Largay. Keep an eye on Largay today. 95 points last year in 20 games for New England College. Chandler Shover, Matt Richard, and Mike Ring are the midfielders. Expect Ring to take most of the faceoffs. He was 36% last year and is the leading returner on faceoffs for New England College. Hunter Coakley, Cameron Casavaw, and Stephen Shockley, the back line in front of the goaltender. William Platt, a sophomore from San Francisco, California, stands at 5'11". He did not receive any playing time last year. Meanwhile, for UMass Boston, the attackmen, Clay and Clay Arnold, the brothers from Syracuse, New York, transfers from Onondaga College, get the start along with Adam Cariveau, Anthony Tortora, Jack Dillon, the returning All-Americans, along with Will Christensen, the freshman, or the midfielders, the defenseman of Derek D.P. Trentonio, Matt Murphy, and Jim Gannemer, the defenseman, in front of the freshman Alex Sorrett, the former high school All-American. We're underway here, and the 2017 lacrosse season is underway at UMass Boston. The Beacons in their home whites with blue shorts and black helmets. They will move left to right across your screen. New England College in their dark blue uniforms with white numbers. They will move right to left. So between these two starting goaltenders, 0 minutes of playing time all of last season. The Beacons are replacing their senior goaltender, the primary goaltender from last year, Craig Freehill, one of the best in program history. I talked to head coach Tyler Lowe before the game. He said there will be a bit of a goalie by committee look today, possibly, as they want to get everybody in a look. But Alex Sorrett earned the start in practice. He practiced hard all week, getting whacked at hard here, winding up for a shot. And the save made, that was Josh Holmes firing the shot for the Beacons, freshman. The first shot of his career. That pass is picked off. Here come the Beacons wide open. The hesitation move low at the hand goes high over low, and the save is made in net for New England College by William Platt. Charging in once again. That was Adam Cariveau. And the Beacons get another possession here off the turnover from Stephen Shackley. Beacons move the ball around the offensive box. Already a couple of early good looks, but William Platt has looked good in net. Grinding their way in are the Beacons, now back out to Croy. Arnold, pass comes near side to Connor Smith. Smith, University of Tampa, transferred 51 points last year for the Beacons. To the far side to Holmes. Beacons moving the ball around the far side. Now it comes to the near side. Here's Smith. Smith with some room to his right, a right-handed cradle, switches back to the left and gives it up. To the far side to Arnold. Back to the middle to Christensen. Now it's Smith with it. He calls out the play, gives it back to the freshman Christensen. Takes a knock, stays on his feet, coming in with the right hand. Pass in front, man there. Another save made by William Platt, his third of the game. And the kid from San Francisco has been great so far. He's bailed his defense out of a couple of bad situations. That's not the first time Cariveau has been left alone in front of the net. Pilgrims looking for their first shot into the offensive zone, and they have it here. But now they double back. Interesting, there are no lacrosse boxes placed on the field. The players just kind of have to be aware of where that would be. The players and the officials. The officials today, Don Phelan, Brian Leanne, and Tim Ginecco. Thrown to the front, the one-timer shot and a score. New England College is on the board. It's going to be Jacob Blanchette, the freshman, with his first career goal. Matt Richard, who had 89 points last year, with the assist. Blanchette, a freshman from Weir, New Hampshire. So about 2.5 in, 3 minutes in. It is an early lead, the first lead of the season for New England College. We'll see how the Beacons respond. It will be Ring back at the face-off dot. He'll face off with Arnold again. Some confusion here with the shot clock. They're getting it figured out. Anyways, back to the dot. Arnold and Ring. Beacons come up with the face-off win. It's Arnold charging in. Defense meets him. He throws it to his brother. That was Croy to Clay. Now back behind the net. Cariveau. Beacons keeping the pressure on. It's been one quick possession. That's really it for New England College, but it's been enough to give them a 1-0 lead in the early stages of this game. Looking to the sideline, now running in is Tortora. As he got the call from his coach, the play gets set up. Back to the X they go behind the net and back around. Beacons playing this one patiently. Pass to the near side to Connor Smith. Smith points forward. Gets it to Arnold and grabs it back. Smith and Arnold change places and now exchange the ball. To the near side to Holmes. Holmes starts in with the right hand, uses the swim move, has some space, fires a shot, and finds twine. We're all knotted up again. Josh Holmes with his first goal of the year. Holmes last year is one of the Beacons' leading scorers. He had 45 points, 38 goals, and 5 assists. He is on the board unassisted, and we're tied at 1 again. And that really was all created by Holmes with that swim move he used with the right hand. You saw him go up over the defender, able to cradle the ball with one hand. And there was no defense waiting in front of the net. Pilgrims were in man, and nobody was there to pick up Holmes as he got loose. Arnold won the last faceoff. And he's going to pick up this one as well. He had it initially, had trouble scooping the ball up, and Ring comes away with it. Mike Ring gets pushed from behind. That's going to be an infraction on the Beacons. Pilgrims will set up their first 6-on-6 look here after scoring in transition in their only other possession. Jogging to the near side is Richard. He has the assist on the lone Pilgrim goal. Around to the far side. Pass comes up to Will Hay. Warwick, Rhode Island native, throws this one away. They wanted Chanel. He wasn't ready for the pass. And the Beacons will get the ball back. It's been all UMass Boston time of possession so far. Just 2 possessions, 2 sustained possessions for the Pilgrims. One did end in a goal quickly, and you see that one end in a sloppy turnover. Coach Lowe saying before the game, Surratt is an aggressive goalie. He's athletic. He wants to play the ball in transition. You saw his passing skills there. We'll see how those come into play as this game plays out. Beacons need to get some subs in here with the long pole. It's Jack Dillon on the offensive side, and he will not. No, he will stay on the offensive half. Here we go. He makes for the bench. And the Beacons can get the correct unit on the field as jogging over the midfield stripe is Connor Smith, and he ends up with the ball. Smith to his left with one hand on the stick. Gives it to the near side to Sam Matten. Matten, a freshman, back to Smith. Returns to Matten. Beacons coaching staff still calling out plays. Around the circle the Beacons go. Matten starts jogging in, now backs out. Beacons created their lone goal really on a great athletic play by an attacker from this same spot. He was able to blow by his defender. Matten can't do so here. They go back behind the net to Cariveau. Cariveau getting it to the middle, sidearm shot. Save made by Platt, his 4th of the game. Keeps it knotted at 1. Platt to the near side. Up ahead, a one-handed catch made by Daniel Medveds. Contact on the far side. Medveds stays in bounds. Trying to carry this in all the way himself. Flags fly. And the Beacons will go a man down. Medveds to Pendleton. Pendleton coming around. Again, next time the Beacons touch the ball, play will stop and they will be assessed a penalty. We wait and see who that will be on, what it will be. It was something on the far side as Daniel Medveds was bringing the ball up the field. Bounce to Pendleton. Pendleton to his left, switches back to his right. Medveds gets a screen. Behind the net to Richard. Richard looking for space with the left-handed cradle, throws in front, whiffs on the shot. Beacons are going to grab this one. There are the whistles, and we will see what this penalty will be. Well, we wait. New England College last year. New England College last year was 28% on their man-up opportunities, 23 of 82. The penalty will go on William Christensen for an offsides.
Offsides, if you're going to announce it. UMass Boston penalty number 18, Will Christensen, a 30-second penalty for offside.
30-second penalty assessed. Coming around is Richard. Guarded by Dillon. Thrown in front, the shot goes wide. Pilgrims will keep it. Beacons trying to get Matt Pino into the game here. Near side goal line extended, save made. Alex Surratt, his first collegiate save. We'll see how the Beacons move this one in transition. They will take their time, one would assume, to get this back to a 6-on-6. Officials redistributing players. And a turnover on the Beacons. They can't clear it. Crease violation on the Beacons, although we are back at 6-on-6. It's not going to matter. Full strength goal for New England College. That's Daniel Medveds, the guy who had originally drew the penalty. New England College back on top, 2-1. Second assist of the game for Matt Richard, who had 48 last year. And he already has a couple in this game. 2-1. Pilgrim lead now with 6:56 to go in the first quarter. Face off, nobody wins it clean. Wings are going to come in now, try to scoop this one up, and they do. It's Anthony Tortora who gets possession for his team, drops it, and picks it back up with one hand, now moving to his right. Tortora flings it down to the goal line, extended to Clay Arnold, who goes back behind the net to Adam Cariveau. Cariveau back out to the top, and the Beacons begin to circle once again. Smith to Holmes, back to Smith. And they continue to play catch. Holmes driving with the right hand, has the lone Beacon goal in this game. Tosses behind the net. Trying to come around is Cariveau. Cariveau to the front. It's the freshman Christensen. And he bounced it too soon. The ball goes up and around the net. Beacons will keep it, though. 6:08 to go in the first quarter here. Pass goes over to the far side, now back to the near side. Push from the back, trying to get the angle as Holmes. He can't get in. Beacons trying to break through the top of this Pilgrim defense. Not worried too much about behind the net. There's a sidearm fling. Off balance from Connor Smith. He misses wide. UMass Boston still with possession. Clay Arnold starting it. Coach Lowe said of the Arnold twins before the games, they bring a high lacrosse IQ to this team. Two very smart, disciplined players. That's number 7 and 8 in white. Hesitation, step to the right, backing down, fires a shot up over the shoulder, and it's Will Christensen on the board for the first time in his college career. And it ties the game up at 2. A lot of torque on that shot from Christensen, and he beat the goaltender Platt to his right side about waist high. All knotted up again with 5:22 to go in the first quarter. On a warm, cloudy day here in Boston, coach is probably not expecting conditioning to come into play this early in the season, but it is about 60 degrees. And a bit muggy, too, which you don't normally say in March. But this game's going to take a bit out of you if you're a player. We'll see how coaches manage substitutions. Often in the first game of the year, non-conference game anyways, the Beacons turn it over off the face-off. Often in these games, coaches will try to get everybody in anyway. Get as many players game action as they can in the first game of the year. Jared Sawsville carries it into the offensive third and into the box. For the for the Pilgrims, Sawsville cutting in front, falls down, no call on the trip. Beacons come up with the ball, now a late whistle, and they are going to call a foul on the Beacons. The Pilgrims will keep it. To the near side to Medvets. Sawsville off the screen, back to Medvets. Loses the ball, had it poked right out of his stick. A nice hands play from number 8, Clay Arnold. Arnold gets hit behind the play, but he'd given the ball up. Beacons moving in transition. There's the shot, missing high and wide. That was Christensen. 4:11 to go in the first quarter. We are all tied at 2. The teams have alternated goals. It's been NEC, UMass Boston, NEC, UMass Boston. And a penalty coming for that hit in the back on Clay Arnold by Daniel Medvets. First man-up opportunity of the game for the Beacons, who were 24% in these chances last year, and did they earn a lot of them. 26 for 109 in just 18 games. Firing a shot, couldn't get it on net. Over to the far side, back up to the top. Behind the net, shot goes wide. Up to the top, they get it. To D'Angelo, there's another shot from about 15 yards out from the diagonal. It's been Christensen's spot. And the Pilgrims scoop it up. 3:34 to go. As the Beacons unable to score on the man-up opportunity, was a 30-second penalty. Up the field. Fast break chance here for the Pilgrims. Spinning it and losing the ball and able to make the pass. Tom Zervos had a couple players open, couldn't do anything with it. Now the ball's knocked out of Tortora's stick. Pilgrims coming back the other way. It's Medvets. Medvets trying to get himself some space. Now he loses the ball. Another nice defensive poke. This time it's Sam Matten. Ball rolling near the Beacon bench. Kept in play by UMass Boston. Spinning around with the long pole. Keeping it away from defenders is Jack Dillon. Somehow maintains possession. The goaltender's out of the net. And just a bit outside on that one. Still a dangerous play from goaltender William Platt. .230 to go in the quarter. After a little bit of back and forth, it's the Pilgrims with it. Pass near side to Chanel. Chanel over to the far side. Slowing it down here in the final minutes are the Pilgrims with 2 minutes to go. Wouldn't expect them to hold it for the last shot in this situation, but possibly not wanting to leave UMass Boston with much time. Sean Largay with the ball. Haven't heard much from him. Last year's leading scorer tries to give it on the over-the-shoulder pass to Will Hay, and he threw it away. .140 to go in the quarter. Near side pass to Fournier. Fournier back to Surratt. That pass gets away. Trying to run it down and keeping it in bounds and cannot on the far side was Jim Gannon. 1:20 to go. The Pilgrims get it back. Pass sails out to Chanel. Backpedaling on the goal line, behind to the X to Richard. Richard kicks it back out. 1 minute to play in the first quarter. We're all tied at 2 here. The season opener for UMass Boston and New England College. Right-handed Cradle driving his way in. Switches to the left. Throws it back out to the point. Pass comes near side to Chanel. Chanel spins through his man. Jack Dillon almost had another turnover forced. De-twigged. Ball is loose. They knocked it out of Will Hay's hands. Still away. New England College gets it back. The shot on net. Surratt makes the save. Rebound New England College. Sidearm shut. Surratt with another one. He had to react quickly. Freshman looks in place. In net for the Beacons right now. Carrying over from that All-American high school status in the state of Massachusetts by way of Melrose. Matt Pino brings the ball up the field, and with 6 seconds left, we'll see if the Beacons get one last shot off. One last whack. There's the shot. It goes high. Clock stops with 1 second to go. Beacons will have to catch and shoot in front. Pass goes wide, and there goes the horn. 1 quarter in the books of the UMass Boston Beacons 2017 season. We are all tied at 2 here through 1 quarter. We will step aside real quick. We'll be right back with the second quarter here on the Beacon Broadcast Network and Little East TV. Back here for the second quarter. All tied at 2 between UMass Boston and New England College. I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for joining us on the Beacon Broadcast Network. 4-hour lacrosse season opener. Getting it started off the draw as the teams switch sides. New England College finally comes up with it. The Pilgrims on the road in their Road dark blues. They're moving right to left across your left to right across the screen. Pardon me. Beacons in their home whites moving right to left. Spinning off contact and firing high is Matt Richard. That ball came out of his stick funny. Not sure he got the release point where he wanted it. Pilgrims keep it, and it's Jared Sawsville. Sawsville out to Medvets. Medvets over to the far side, and he gets it back. Near side to Sawsville, back to Medvets. Neither team has really bothered to play much behind the net. Both teams coming at this from the top. Pass in front, centering pass, and a score. Matt Richard, he had a couple of assists, now adds his first goal of the game. And for the third time today, New England College goes on top. The assist goes to Daniel Medvets, so it's Richard assisting Medvets on goal number 2. And then Medvets returns the favor to Richards on goal number 3. Beacons have answered the previous 2 times. We will see what they can do here. Taking a look at some of the stats from the first quarter. Shots 12-5 in favor of UMass Boston, but 5 saves from William Platt, just 1 for Alex Surrett. Ground balls are about even. Beacons have won 4 of 6 face-offs. And you can make that 4 of 7, a win for Mike Ring. Each team's committed 1 penalty. Neither team scored on their man-up opportunity. Near side to Sawsville. Sawsville coming all the way around behind the net, guarded by Arnold. Out to the top, and the pass is centered to Medvets. Medvets throws it in front, sidearm shot. Sean Largay on the board for the first time this season. His 4th goal of the year and another assist for the sophomore Medvets. First multi-goal lead of the game, and it belongs to New England College, and it comes with 13:38 to go in the second quarter. Head coach Tyler Lowe speaking to his defense. We'll see if he possibly uses one of his timeouts soon here with New England College on a 2-0 run. Lowe, a Babson graduate, 2009, in his 7th season at the helm of the Beacons. A 39-62 career record. That one is thrown away by the Beacons. On the other side, Jed Brown, a Western New England graduate in his 3rd season with the Pilgrims. They are 21-15 under him, including 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. Thrown up the field, man open. Pilgrims getting it going in transition. It's Will Hay, but now they will slow it down. Whistle blows, and the Beacons will come back the other way. You see on the far field the baseball diamond, the team exiting. Their season gets underway tomorrow. You can catch that on Beacon Broadcast Network. And for information on their season and the men's lacrosse season, anything Beacons Athletics, you can visit beaconathletics.com. Surrett all the way out, almost 30 yards out of his net. Gets it up to his defenseman, and Beacons will carry it in with the long pole. Behind the net to Cariveau. That one's tipped away. Beacons will keep it. 12:45 to go in the second quarter. Christensen with the ball. Scored his first collegiate goal in the first quarter. This is the most recent goal for the Beacons as they trail 4-2. Near side to Holmes. It's been Holmes and Smith playing catch up top. That's been a lot of it today for UMass Boston, as they wait for a hole to open up in this Pilgrim defense. Backside to Smith. Thought about it, didn't take it. Gives it back to Matten. Up and under move from Holmes. Bounces one behind the net. Nobody there defensively, so Cariveau can catch up to it. Back to Matten. Into the middle they go with it to Christensen. Holmes, now Matten, now Holmes. Hesitation kick move. Coming in is Matten. Spins back around. 11:35 to go in the quarter. Firing a bounce shot, and that one missed wide. Platt may have gotten a piece of it, but it wasn't going in nonetheless. That off the stick of Josh Holmes. Holmes over to the far side to Smith. Smith breaks in on net, fires one off the side of the cage. Roll over the back line. Beacon still with possession here, down 2 with 11 minutes to go until halftime. Cariveau trying to find some room on the edge. He does. The shot's deflected before it could get on net. Rebound bounces out to the Beacons. Scooping it up is Matten. His shot won't go. And the second rebound comes to the Pilgrims, though. A big hit at midfield. Flags fly. An interesting call from the officials, and for the second time this game, New England College will go a man up after Will Christensen lowered the boom. New England College did not score on their first man up, and actually does not look like they're going to have a man up here. I think they waved off the penalty.
No, they will. 1 minute body check.
Part of that 1 minute body check, and that is the second penalty on the freshman Christensen. So a goal but 2 penalties and a rocky start to the freshman's career. Last time was a 30-second penalty, and while they did not score, they scored nearly immediately after. Backdoor pass, they'll score here too. Sean Largay almost threw his stick into the net. And he's assisted by Matt Richard, last year's 2 leading scorers, getting together for that one. Richard now has a hand in 4 goals. He's assisted on 3 and scored 1. That's the second goal, back-to-back goals for Sean Largay. Beacons need to answer now, down 3 with 10:19 to go until halftime. Face-off win coming for the Pilgrims after they struggled in the first quarter. They've won the last couple. Backpedaling near the 40-yard line of the football field is Will Hay. Chanel near side to Largay. Largay behind the net to Richard. Richard loses the ball, grabs it. No, the Beacons get it back. Couldn't scoop it up. Here comes UMass Boston. It's been a while since they've had the ball. Nearly lost it here. It looks like they will. Another sloppy possession from the Beacons. Reeled in by Hunter Coakley. Going to see what the Pilgrims can do here. Throw it up, drop near midfield. Christensen was right there, but he couldn't step up to get it, or he would have been called offsides. An offsides called by New England College. Beacons will come back the other way. Anthony Tortora will get it started. He flips it right back to Surratt. Surratt goes to the far side to Jim Gannum. Rolled down the middle of the field, scooped up, shooting lane for Christensen. Tried to pick the top corner, and Platt makes the save. 5-2 still to score, 8:48 to go in the first half. New England College making their way up the field. Pass the middle to Zervos. Zervos to the far sideline. Beacons grab it. Nice play to get to the middle to Tortora. Bounces it up ahead. And a timeout on the field. Beacons will start a crucial offensive possession. Beacons will huddle up. The current players on the field in one huddle, everybody else in another. And this could be a big possession here for the Beacons. 8:19 to go. If they can get a goal, get it back within 2, and stop this 3-0 New England College run. It'll do a lot for them going into the break. See what Tyler Lowe draws up. If you're just joining us, teams alternated goals in the first quarter. We were tied at 2 after 1. The Beacons' goals coming from a couple of freshmen, Josh Holmes and Will Christensen. And it has been all New England College here in the second quarter. A 3-0 advantage for them in this frame, thanks to 2 goals from Sean Largay. Only 4 players have recorded a point on 5 goals for New England College. Matt Richard is 4, Daniel Medvets is 3, Sean Largay is 2, and Jacob Blanchette has 1. His lone point, the first goal of the game. Beacons will trigger it on the far side. This is Josh Holmes. Holmes gives it to Arnold. 8:11 to go in the quarter. Arnold back to Holmes. Holmes blows by his defender, throws it to the middle. There's the shot from Christensen. Hit a defender's stick in front. Holmes picked it up for a second. The Beacons will ultimately keep it. Thrown out to Arnold. Arnold thought about the shot, hesitates, tries to grind his way in. Instead flips it back out. Beacons reset. Shot from way out. Coming from Josh Holmes. That one misses wide. Beacons maintain possession. Trying to push his way through as Holmes. He loses the ball. Trying to get it back, and he does. Near side to Smith. Smith doesn't have an angle on the net, gives it up. That pass goes wide. It will roll out of bounds. Pilgrims will get it back. Another turnover for the Beacons. This is a team that averaged 17 turnovers a game last year. They forced 22. Meanwhile, the Pilgrims, they averaged 20 a game. They forced 20 a game. Under 7 minutes to go until halftime. Pilgrims lead by 3 with the ball. Medvez guarded by Pino, throws it in front to his knees, making the save, Alex Surrett. Looking around, gives it to the far side. Here come the Beacons, sprinting up the far sideline and in. Flag comes down behind the play, so UMass Boston will get a chance to go up a man. Here in the final minutes, final 6 minutes of the second half. Trying to get in, working with the long pole is Jack Dillon. Tries a wraparound off the foot of the goaltender. Scooped up by New England College, and we'll see what the penalty is. Looks like it's going to be on Medvets.
30 second on offsides on 22, 30 seconds.
No, pardon me, it's going to be in Jacob Blanchette, the freshman, an offsides call. Here comes the Beacon second man-up opportunity of the day. They're 0 for 1. Beacons working the 6-on-5, trying to put an end to a 3-0 run by New England College. Get themselves back within 2. To the top, big shot, big windup. Waist-high shot from John Holmes goes wide. 5:41 to go in the quarter. Fakes the pass, now gets the pass out. Ball bounces behind. New England College will scoop it up, come the other way. Right out of the penalty, Blanchette was up ahead. They didn't see him. Instead, it's Hay bringing it in. Now they have Blanchette. Sliding stop made by Surratt. Had to crawl back across the crease. An athletic goaltender, and he showed it right there. It's going to give the Beacons a chance in transition. Backdoor pass hits the back of the net. And Will Hay gets the Beacons back within 2. Third goal of the game for UMass Boston.
Adam Cariveau, the assist to number 7, Clay Arnold.
Clay Arnold picks up the assist. So pardon me, that was Adam Cariveau with the goal. And Clay Arnold grabs the assist. Nice job in transition there by the Beacons. The one extra pass, definitely a good shot to take for Arnold, but the one extra pass left his teammate Cariveau, the freshman, all alone with an open net. For the freshman from Hudson, Mass, first goal of his career. Beacons win the ensuing faceoff with under 5 to go. A chance to get back within 1 and grab the momentum heading to the break. It's also the Beacons' first man-up goal of the year. They're now 1 for 2. Or no, pardon me, was not man-up. That's right. They'd come back down the field already. Arnold trying to get around on the far side. Behind the net, they toss it back out. A little hesitation step, creating some spaces. Holmes fires a shot. The save is made. And that's 7 saves now for William Platt. Turned over. Beacons with room. Instead, they'll slow it up and allow the teammates to catch up, as it was Cariveau coming in on net, but he would have been 1-on-2. So actually 8 saves now for William Platt on 3 goals allowed, 5 saves on 5 goals allowed for Alex Surratt. 3:40 to go in the quarter. Arnold to the middle. Christensen shoots. Surratt with another save, scooped up by the Beacons. And a behind-the-back shot from a knee. That's not a high percentage shot from Arnold, but it would have looked pretty if it went in. Beacons getting going again. That pass too high for Matt, and it's a turnover. If he settles that pass, it's a good place to shoot from with no defender nearby. Medveds brings it up with 3:13 to go in the quarter. We'll circle back as New England College subs. Pendleton to the far side to Medveds. Medveds with the left-handed pass behind the net. They have Largay back there. Instead, try to throw it to the front as Medveds was cutting towards the crease. Beacons will get the ball back. If that pass connects, that's an awfully nice play. 5-3 your score with 2.5 to go. Surratt flings this one way upfield over the 50, overshoots his defenseman even with the long pole. Not enough get up to go get that one. .227 to go, and it's the Pilgrims coming back the other way. Ensuing turnovers. Doubling back around, long pass up the field, nobody home. Overshot Largay by about 30 yards. More big passing with 2 minutes to go. Thrown up the field towards the net. Pilgrims will get this one as Arnold shot. I don't know if that was a shot or pass. It came from way out, about 30 yards out. Bodied up as Zervos as he gets hit by Cariveau. We'll see what the Pilgrims can do. To the near side to Largay. Largay breaking in, spins around. He'll have some room on the wraparound. Fires the shot, trying to go overhand. The defense is too strong. Couldn't get it off. Ground ball rolling near side and picked up by the Beacons, number 19, Matt Murphy. Murphy nearly turns it right over. Pass it right into the opponent's stick. Scooped up, throwing it up in the air is Stephen Shackley. Over the shoulder goes Largay, trying to keep his team possession. Largay scoops it up after a fight for the ball. 46 seconds to go. Pilgrims with a little bit of momentum now after surviving that defensive charge. Back behind the net, out in front. There's the shot and a Pilgrim goal. Jacob Blanchette had the first goal of the game, now the 6th goal of the game for New England College, and you could sort of feel that one building. And for the second time in this one, New England College is up 3. Officials discussing something at midfield as the teams head back for the faceoff, and the Beacons will send Matt Murphy, the defenseman, out with the long pole for the faceoff. He won at a 33% clip last year. He'll go back up against Mike Ring, who is 4 for 10 in this game. Ring last year was also sub 40, like Murphy. Gets an initial push on this one. Flag comes out behind the play. This is going to go against the Beacons. It's going to be a slash on Murphy, so coming off the faceoff, could not get possession, commits the penalty. Third man-up look for the Pilgrims. They are 1 for 2. Third penalty of the game for the Beacons. The freshman Will Christensen had a couple. Now Murphy will kneel. .30 seconds to go in the half. Pass to the doorstep in front. Save made by Largay. That was out of the stick of Medvets. 21.5 seconds to go. Can hear somebody screaming, hold it. I believe it's coming from the New England College bench. Telling their team to hold for the last shot with 8 seconds to go. And it looks like New England College will just hold it out so they can stay in man up to start the second half. They won't have to take a face-off. They will get the ball when we return from the break. 30 minutes in the books. It's New England College 6, UMass Boston 3. Earlier this week, Tyler Lowe spoke with the Little East Conference podcast, and we will have his whole conversation for you coming up in just a minute. Again, at the half, it is 6-3 after a 3-1. 4-1 quarter, pardon me, by New England College. The goaltenders, Alex Surratt, 5 saves, 6 goals allowed. William Platt, 8 saves, 3 goals allowed. Players with multiple points, nobody for UMass Boston. 4 for New England College are the only 4 to record points. Matt Richards, Sean Largay, Jacob Blanchette, and Daniel Medvez. Like I said, Tyler Lowe spoke with the Little East podcast earlier in the week. We go to that now.
Joined by UMass Boston Lacrosse head coach Tyler Lowe. Coach, coming off your best season as the Beacons head coach. 12 wins a year ago, 4 conference wins, the most since 2006, and you bring back a fair amount of guys. The outlook has to look pretty positive heading into this season.
Yes, absolutely. We're very excited. Again, we have a great group of leaders coming back, and we're very excited to build on last year for sure.
You look at a great group of leaders. One of the good news points over the offseason was Calvin Lee getting another year of eligibility, your top scorer. Bring back a couple other guys who weren't sure if that was going to be their last season for one reason or another.
Sure.
Who are some of the big returners outside of Calvin, and even Calvin, who you're really looking forward to seeing in Beacons Blue one more year or even a couple more years?
For sure. Jack Dillon and Anthony Tortora have both done a great job for us thus far as well. Not only for their own play, but really the standard they set for the guys around them has been very important as well. We do have a lot of younger guys coming in, a lot of transfers coming in, so for them to see kind of the work it takes to be successful at this level is very important.
How much can Calvin's return help this team, especially looking at some of the other guys? You bring back your second leading scorer, but then third through sixth, I think, all graduated. So having that go-to guy, taking the pressure off some of the new guys who are getting into the system and might have some kinks to work out those first couple of games.
Absolutely. Again, Calvin is definitely a very special player, and with that in mind, we definitely have a lot around him as well that maybe we didn't have in every piece last year, so we're pretty excited for that. Coach Fitty's running the offense this year, so we're very, very excited for some of the changes that he's brought as far as pace and tempo goes, and we're looking forward to making some big strides on that side of the ball.
Former goalie is the offense coach. How will that potentially help him in sort of trying to break down what the goalie might be looking for?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, Coach Fitty's a great coach, really, in kind of all aspects, in all phases of the game. I think, him being a hockey forward was definitely, a huge plus as well for us. We're always drawing from other sports for concepts, and so I think for that there's a lot of overlap for that as well, both from an X's and O's standpoint as well as a skill set standpoint.
Looking at some of your freshman transfers, I know you have a lot of guys who are excited. Who are maybe 3 or 4 who could make an instant impact?
Sure. So Croy and Clay Arnold, who come to us from Onondaga Community College, have really stepped into a leadership role right away. They're more experienced guys, older guys coming in as juniors. So they've really been guys who, from a work ethic standpoint, have set the standard really going all the way back to fall. Josh Holmes, who's a transfer from Roger Williams, is someone we're very excited about on the offensive side of the ball. And then Alex Surrett, who's a goalie coming in, was an All-American in high school at Melrose High. So we're very excited to have him in the mix as well. With him, Alex, and Nikki, it's going to be definitely a battle to see who's replacing Craig between the pipes. Craig
had such a phenomenal season last year. You've already talked about it a little bit, but what is in store in that goalie battle? Are we going to see maybe a starting goalie named coming out of camp, or it'll be first couple of games and then go from there?
We're on the road at Babs tonight for a scrimmage. I think we'll know a lot more coming out of that. All 3 guys are going to get an opportunity tonight, which I think is very important. For us, stopping the ball is obviously a piece of it, but what we're really going to need to replace, and what's going to be hard to replace with Craig, is kind of the way he led the defense and commanded that side of the ball. So that's definitely going to be kind of the trait we look for the most in deciding who's going to be the guy.
Another big senior loss was Phil Trung, who had a phenomenal senior season in the Face-Off X. How are you going to go about that? Is that one guy, or are we going to see another group trying to replace Phil?
Sure. Again, that's another situation I think we're going to know a lot more about this time tomorrow. Dan Garrity and Xavier have both done a great job so far on the face-offs. Croy Arnold and a number of other guys have been in the mix as well. I think there's been a lot bigger emphasis in practice on wing play for us, as that's going to continue to be very important. Again, Phil had a great career for us, but we're definitely excited for the guys we have stepping up into that role.
You look at your schedule just a little bit. You start with New England College, an NCAA team, and then you have Bowdoin. I think it's the first NESCAC that you've had during your career, and they're at home, which is even bigger. How is that increased non-conference competition going to help this team, especially with seeing those 2 teams earlier on in the schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal, obviously, is all about the conference for us. Our best route to an NCAA tournament is winning our conference. So for us, our out-of-conference schedule is really about putting guys in as many possible situations as they can be heading into our conference schedule. So for us, Bowdoin's a team that Keene State beat last year and is a pretty comparable team in that sense, nationally. So for us, kind of being able to play them headed into the conference schedule, I think for us is very, very important.
You guys have been road warriors for the past couple seasons without a home field and then playing over at BC. Last year you had 7 home games. This year you get 9 home games out of your 16. How is that going to help this team having a little bit more stability and having a chance to play more in front of the home fans?
Sure, I mean, it really affects us kind of in all facets of things. I think having, the home crowd is obviously always a huge boost for us. And I think for guys, just in terms of time management, again, this spring, especially having so many young guys, guys are balancing a lot academically, balancing a lot kind of being new to this level. So I think the lightened travel load definitely helps a lot with that as well.
You brought up Croy and Clay. You guys visited Hartwick College last season, a tough overtime loss, but part of that was getting to visit Onondaga, one of the powerhouses of the JUCOs. Sure. You're heading back there again. Is there more to that trip than just a really tough non-conference matchup, a chance to try to build a recruiting line?
For us, I mean, again, it's very, very important. Again, lacrosse is a pretty special game to a lot of people. And again, we don't take for granted the fact that we get to make a living in the sport. And so for us, kind of getting to see where lacrosse was, where lacrosse's roots are, is something that's very, very important. So obviously, it's great for us to get to know some people in that region. Obviously, a very, very strong lacrosse area. But for us, it's about more than that. We had a great opportunity last year to visit the Onondaga Reservation, meet Alfie Jock, meet Chip Byrne, kind of really, get to know kind of the roots of the game, which I think was a pretty special experience for a lot of our guys.
How did you see that experience take away the tough result in a game that I think went to double overtime? You had so many overtime games. But how did that bring that group closer? That's your spring break trip. Sure. Instead of going south, you go north. And it seemed like the guys came back and were as close-knit as they've ever been.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think anytime you travel out a region like that, it's obviously a big boost as far as kind of the team getting to spend that much time together. And again, I think any kind of experience, it was a pretty emotional experience getting to kind of see the roots of the game and listening to these guys talk about what lacrosse means to them. So any kind of shared experience like that, obviously, I think brings a ton of value.
Fortunately, the weather hasn't been too bad this year. Yeah. A little bit worse than a year ago, but how has that affected you guys in any way in terms of getting out there and practicing as frequently or maybe as scheduled as you would like?
Sure. For us, I mean, we try to get out really regardless of the weather. I mean, we're pretty open about practicing in a couple inches of snow if we have to. For us, it's all about finding an advantage any way we can. So for us, even if it's just 30 minutes together on the whiteboard, if it's, an hour and a half with Jeff, whatever it might be, it's kind of finding a way to be able to improve every day, especially in the days when other teams might not be able to. Again, Jeff has been a huge, huge asset for us in that regard as well, where even if we're not able to get on the field because of snow, we feel like we can still be very, very productive because of the work he's doing with the guys.
Jeff being Jeff Ebbs, the Beacon strength and conditioning coach. Coach, final question. Today's February 14th, first game on March 1st. Sure. What do you want to accomplish in these next 2 weeks heading into the beginning of your season?
Sure. I mean, I think tonight we're going to know a lot more. We're very excited. Again, Babson's a very tough team as well. It kind of goes along with the Bowdens of the world as far as kind of seeing where we stand. For us, we definitely have a lot more to get done. But again, we're very, very excited with our progress, and I guess I'll know a little bit more after tonight for sure.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Welcome back to James Carter Field. Final minutes of halftime here. Take a look at the stats from the first half. It's the Pilgrims of New England College on top of the Beacon 6-3. And as we hit the break, see the shots are all Beacons. The saves from William Platt have kept them in this game. They've been big. Turnovers as well. There's been a lot of turnovers in this one, and I'll tell you this, it's probably only going to get worse. I stepped outside during that break, the interview with the Little East podcast, and Tyler Lowe, and it feels like it's about to rain. The clouds are thickening up a little bit. It's getting kind of, winds picking up. It almost feels like in the summer when it's about to rain, which is weird to say in March, but we'll see. If I know there's storms on the way. The question is, will they hold off for the next hour or so while we get this one finished up? Both teams will keep the same goalies. Often in the first game of the year, you'll see teams go with goalie by committee to get everybody some reps. Not is the case so far. The Pilgrims were on the man up to end the first half, and they decided to just sit on the ball to ensure that they got possession to start the second half. Hence the no face-off, and here we go. The Pilgrims with the ball, moving right to left in their dark blue jerseys on the left side of your screen. Beacons in their home whites. They move left to right there, defending down 6-on-5, and they get a big save from Alex Surratt to get things started. Like I mentioned, Surratt in the first half, 6 goals allowed, 5 saves. His first half of collegiate play. A couple of the saves were spectacular. One where he literally crawled across the crease to get his body in front of a shot, but nonetheless finds himself down by 3 goals. Although at this point it looks to be almost the Beacons' offense more than anything else that's been the issue, the number of times they've turned the ball over. Trying to find his way in is Daniel Medvez. He can't get the shot off. It goes wide. New England College picks it up. Thrown in front again, the one-time shot and a score. Capitalizing on the man up is New England College. And it's Daniel Medvez, his second goal of the game, his 4th point. A 7-4 lead for the Pilgrims. 4 assists now for Matt Richard. 4 assists, 5 points. The 4th and the 6th goal, the only 2 he was not involved with. Off the face-off, a shot from New England College. Or pardon me, Richard did have an assist on the 6th goal of the game, so all but one, but the Beacons come back down and answer on the other side. With the long pole, number 22, Jack Dillon, his first goal of the year. He had 4 last season. Beacons answer back quickly. We go back to a 3-goal game. Look and see who got the assist here. Find out momentarily. Unassisted, I'm being told. As it often is with the long stick goals, generally it's just a guy kind of cruising coast to coast, charging in and firing. So the Beacons back within 3 quickly after Pilgrims stretch the lead to a game-high 4. Try to close it back again. There's the shot, another one. Beacons get another one right back. That's Clay Arnold. The first goal of his NCAA career. A junior college transfer. Wins the faceoff, takes it the length of the field and scores. You gotta like that if you're the Beacons. There was a little bit of what are we going to get from these kids. Obviously, you never know when you make the jump from junior college to NCAA. Very much like the jump to high school. It's another level. And so far, Croy and Clay Arnold have looked like they belong. Each has a point. Clay with an assist, Croy with a goal. And they've been in on faceoffs as well. Croy is 6 of 10. And you make that 6 of 11 as the Pilgrims come up with this faceoff. So a fast start here. A goal each way, just minutes into the 3rd quarter. 13.5 to go on the clock in the 3rd frame. Beacons have it back down to 2. Pilgrims have been up by as much as 4. Hacking away is Jack Dillon on the far side. After scoring his goal to get them within 3 off the post. Ringing the pipe, Jared Sawsville. Ball took a big hop. Rebound came out to the Pilgrims. That shot goes wide. Pilgrims pick it up. Met defensively behind the net. Pass to the near side to Blanchette. Over to the far side to Medvez. Medvez gets by one defender. He's met by a second. The second is Dillon. Dillon pushes him back. Crossfield pass comes to the near side, now thrown down low. Behind the net, it's Largay. Right-handed Cradle, breaks to his left, tries to come back around, draws the double team, Ball's on the ground, scooped up by Medvets. He puts it on the ground. Beacons coming the other way. Fast break chance for UMass Boston. Dillon looking to the middle, and he will hold up. Redistributes the attackers. 12 minutes to go in the quarter. UMass Boston gets their substitutions taken care of. Here's Connor Smith. Now to the near side to Holmes. Near side to Mulligan. Hesitates with the left foot. Now cutting to his right. Fires a shot low. Save made by William Platt. Or no, did that go in? Did that sneak in between the legs? It might have.
30 seconds for a hold.
It's going to be a penalty call. 30 seconds for a hold. Just the way the players were celebrating. Thought it might have been a goal. But it's 30 seconds for a hold. It's Medved's second penalty of the game. Beacons are 0 for 2 in man-up opportunities. Here's their third chance. Quickly flinging the ball around. There's the shot. It's off the post after it got a piece of Platt. Holmes with it. Starts in, steps back. Holmes to his right. Over to Smith. Back to Holmes. He's the swim move. Has a goal off that move already today. Spinning around, firing a left-handed shot wide. 10:22 to go in the quarter. Beacons looking for space. Holmes, an off-balance shot with the left hand. Easy save for Platt. Right into the stick. Tries to go up over the top. Beacons get it back. That's going to be a turnover on Platt, the goaltender. Splitting two defenders and working his way out is Matt Murphy. Up the field, a penalty coming behind the play. So New England College did make it back to 6-on-6, but they will go down 6-on-5 again momentarily here. Christensen, he's been aggressive to shoot so far, has the freshman. Has some space here, a sidearm shot. That was about knee-high shot. Misses wide, and now the penalty will be assessed. Looks like it's going to go on Matt Richard. And Richard will take the kneel in the penalty area. Fourth penalty of the game on New England College. Beacons rotate the ball around. Thrown to the top. There's the shot. A big wind up and a follow through from Josh Holmes. Misses over the top right corner of the net. 9:18 to go in the third quarter. Beacons quickly back into it on offense. Pass goes awry over the net. They had Clay Arnold in the area, but the pass wasn't anywhere near him. See what the Pilgrims can do. They haven't had the ball for a while. Up to Chenale. Chenale uses a hesitation step to get by a defender. Looks back over his shoulder. Realizes how much room he has, but now the defense catches up and he will wait. Stick on the ground. Ball loose. It was Blanchette that dropped it, and the Beacons pick it up. Spin from Arnold. Working his way in towards the net. Cuts back in front. Fires a shot. He scores. Clay Arnold. The 6th game of the goal for the Beacons. And they're back within 1. Took a great path on that one, coming all the way down to the goal line, bringing the defenders' momentum with him, then stepped back out in front of the net, had to stop on a dime to do it. Arnold now with a goal and an assist in this one.
13.
And there is an assist on that one, a late assist. And oh boy, let's try this here. Derek D.P. Trentonio. Derek D.P. Trentonio, the freshman from Watertown, Massachusetts, picks up his first collegiate point, and if he keeps doing that, we'll get a little more used to saying his name. It'll come out a lot smoother. But a nice play by the freshman defenseman nonetheless. Big frame. Sometimes it's tougher for the big guys to pass. He stands at 6'4", but got that one away cleanly. Beacons win the ensuing faceoff. Connor Smith trying to decide what he wants to do with it here. Gets it back to Josh Holmes. Beacons on a 2-0 run and trying to get this game tied up again. We haven't been tied since the early stages of the second quarter. Lowering the shoulder is Holmes. A little too physical for the officials' liking. New England College coming down the other way. East to west pass. And New England College is into their offensive third of the field. Backing down is Medved's, trying to get some space. Pushed back behind the net. Gives it off to Sawsville. Sawsville out to the top to Pendleton. Pendleton over. And then New England College circulates. Cutting in front, sidearm shot on the move. That was a high, difficult shot, high-level difficulty shot for Medved's. Couldn't get it to go. The rebound is finished. And New England College gets the lead back up to 2. Believe that'll be Matt Richard. Or no, pardon me, it'll be Jacob Blanchette, assisted by Matt Richard. Blanchette finishes the hat trick. For Richard, it's a double hat trick and assists. Now up to 7 points, 6 assists and a goal last year, and 89 points in 20 games, 41 goals, 48 assists. He looks to be on a similar path here. The guy who has not really done much for New England College that you would expect is Sean Largay, coming off a 95-point season. He's been held to just 2 goals. Well, the Beacons are without their leading scorer from last year, at least their returning leading scorer. Calvin Lee has not played due to an injury. Had 81 points last year to pace UMass Boston. Connor Smith, who had 51 points last year, is scoreless. Josh Holm had 43. He has just 1 goal. It was the first goal of the game for UMass Boston. Pilgrims looking to get the lead back to 3. They've led by as much as 4. That shot sails high and wide. UMass Boston has yet to lead in this game. Flipping back around as Largay fires a shot. Save made. 6th save made of the afternoon by Alex Surratt. 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Beacons working on the clear. Back to Surratt they go. We'll see what the freshman does in transition. Lobs one into a double team, but finds his man. Getting the edge, coming around in front, tried to leave it with the soft pass. Beacons will keep it, but will have to slow up as Connor Smith scoops up the ground ball. Believe it or not, it's the first ground ball Smith has grabbed. The leaders, Clay Arnold and Jack Dillon, with 5 apiece for the Beacons. Near side to Holmes. With the right hand, flips it back across. Trying to get space. Near side to Holmes. Holmes trying to get in front of the net. Can't. Switches to the left hand to cradle out to the top. Connor Smith drops the ball, picks it back up. Uses a couple of moves, gets himself some room, goes in front, fires the shot in the crease, no good. Rebound comes to the Beacon. No shot off the rebound, but they maintain possession. Just over 4 minutes to go here in the quarter. UMass Boston down 2. Holmes jogs to his right. Now he takes off. Spins off with the left hand. Couldn't get in close enough to take the shot. Beacon's really slowing it down here as we hit the final 4 minutes of the third quarter. Now breaking for the net, it's Smith. Pardon me, that's Torta. Behind the net to Cariveau. Puts the shoulder down. There's the bounce shot right into the stick of Platt. With 3:18 to go in the quarter. The Pilgrims will come the other way. Up over midfield now in the stick of Will Hay. Hay doubles around. Looking around over his shoulder, leaves it with Sawsville, now gets it back. Hay jogging to his right near the sideline on the far side. 2:40 to go in the quarter. Coming around to his left after a couple of juke moves. Tried to spin back to his right. The angle's cut off by the defense. Nice play there by Anthony Tortra. Bounce is recovered by Sawsville. Jogging backwards with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Couple ticks over 2. Loses the ball as he's hacked at by Jim Gannum. Thrown to the front of the net. Another assist for Matt Richard. And this time it's Will Hay finishing. It's his first goal of the game. And the 9th of the game for New England College. Make that 5 assists in a row for Matt Richard. 7 so far. He's had a hand in every goal but one for New England College. He has assisted on every goal since their 5th. You see why this guy picked up so many points last season. Scooped up by the Beacons, down 3, 9-6, and they need one here. Jogging in is Arnold. 1.5 to go. Arnold to the near side to his brother. That's Croy to Clay. Beacons rotating around. Pass comes into Christensen. Christensen to Arnold. Behind the net to Cariveau. Out to the top to Mulligan. Arnold back to Mulligan. Now to Matten. With under a minute to go now. See if the Beacons slow it down here for a couple seconds to ensure themselves the last shot. Although at this point down 3 as we head to the fourth quarter. It's got to just be about scoring as you can. Beacons are down 3 at halftime, trying to improve on that. Charging in, firing the bounce shot, bouncing about 5 yards too short. Did Will Christensen. He's had a rough day. He's had some trouble finding the net. Does have 1 goal, but he's also committed 2 penalties. New England College capitalized on both man-up opportunities. Up and under move. 10 seconds to go. There's the shot. It misses wide. This may be New England College ball. It's not. With 4 seconds left, Beacons need a pass and shoot. And that will do it. Time runs out on the Beacons as we make the turn for home. It's New England College 9, UMass Boston 6. 15 minutes to go in the season opener. Keep it here on the Beacon Broadcast Network. Back here for the start of the fourth quarter. UMass Boston, New England College, they'll switch sides. Beacons moving right to left. Pilgrims moving left to right. Face-off violation is going to give it to UMass Boston. They need to start scoring, down 9-6 with 15 minutes to go. A 7-4 run since a tied first quarter for the Pilgrims. A 4-1 second quarter has been the difference. They roll that ball up along the sideline. Connor Smith has it, and he waits for the play call from the coaching staff. Now on the far side. Arnold behind the net to Cariveau. Cariveau to Holmes. Holmes fires a shot. Saved by Platt. Took about 50 seconds off the clock. Pilgrim still working on the clear, and they get it up to Chennail. Chennail to Medvets. Medvets over to the far side. He's from Henniker, New Hampshire. That is where New England College is located, so hometown kid, hometown product. Pass dropped initially behind the net, then handled. They reverse it. They get it to Largay. Largay coming up on the wraparound, loses the ball, tries to push it towards the net, finds a teammate there. He gets bumped. It's rolling loose. Scooped up by the Beacons, and a flag will come against the Pilgrims. After the check, the Beacons manage to maintain possession. They'll get a man-up chance and maybe a goal on top of it. There's the shot. Another long pole goal for Jack Dillon. His second of the game. 4 goals in all last year. He has half of that so far in this game. The Beacons are back within 2. It's as close as they've been since early in the second quarter. And now we take a look at the penalty call. It's going to be a 1-minute slashing penalty on, I believe, Jared Sawsville, number 3. Wait for the call here. No, it's on Sean Largay. Beacons' 5th man-up opportunity of the afternoon. They are 0 for 4. One might say they are due. Down 2 with 13:10 to go in the game. Back to the face-off dot we go. Beacons have won 10 of 17. 9 of those wins on 15 face-offs by Clay Arnold. And he wins another. Gets it to the slot to Christensen, and Christensen will slow it up. Beacons sub. And here we go. Christensen, the near side slot to the goal line. Back out to the top, to the far side. Down to the goal line, an off-angle shot goes wide. Back for possession, Adam Cariveau. Cariveau out to Christensen. Over to the far side. There's the shot. He finds the back of the net. That's Connor Smith. He finally breaks the seal, and UMass Boston's back within 1. The U Tampa transfer, who had 29 goals last year, it took him to the 4th quarter of game 1. But he finishes that one in the first man-up goal of the game for the Beacons. It's assisted by Josh Holmes, so Holmes' first assist of the season. $12:23 to go in the quarter. Beacons trying to get to it. They cannot as Arnold fell over. Well, he's going to be awarded possession off of this. So the Beacons with a chance to tie it up, down 1. With just over 12 minutes to go in regulation. Scored on their last 2 possessions. We'll see what they do here. They have not been within 1 since the first goal the Pilgrims scored in the second quarter, when New England College went on a 3-0 run. Beacons could put together their own 3-0 run here. Behind the net, comes back out. Smith to the top, over to the far side. Holmes trying to push his way in a little too much. It's the second time he's been called for one of those. 11:34 to go in the quarter. Coming up the field, trying to get the breakaway goal. It goes wide. Richard will pick it up. Matt Richard today has 7 assists. Keep an eye on 77 when he gets the ball. He's playing the X position behind the net. Daniel Medvez has 4 points, 2 goals and 2 assists. To the near side, out to the top. Pilgrim's rotating now, charging in his Largay. He fires a shot, got it with the stick. Did Surratt. Pilgrims keep it again. Just under 11 minutes to go. Beacons down 1. Home opener here from James Cotter Field. Pass in front, cutting to the net. Did he finish? Yes, he did. Jared Sawsville, first goal of the game. And that puts the Pilgrims in double digits. And, of course, Matt Richard picks up the assist. Why not? That's 5 in a row for him. Eight assists and a goal for Matt Richard, 9 points, so he's just 80 shy of his total from last year. Beacons need this face-off. They pick it up. Coming in is Arnold to Christensen. Oh, one too many passes. He might have left that a little low, looking for Clay Arnold. If he does get that pass up and in the stick, Beacons probably back within one. Clay Arnold with a goal and an assist in this one. Croy Arnold jogging a little bit on the sideline. Backdoor pass. Contact in front. Bounced it wide. Lowers the shoulder, trying to back his way around. Puts it in front. Diving save made to a knee. Goes Surrett. Can he earn his team possession if they can scoop up the ground ball? And the Beacons do. Down 2, 10-8. 10 minutes to go. Up the field they come. Christensen, save made. Platt down to a knee, and he grabbed it with his stick. Lobbed up the field, grabbed right at midfield by New England College. Behind the net, now out to the side. Backing down, trying to get it off. He can't. This is Medvez. Medvez retreats behind the net. Bang his way in, pops it up in the air. It's over the head of Sean Largay. Rolling towards the sideline. There's going to be a fight for it. Pilgrims come in and save their possession. Killing some time off the clock now. Under 9 to go. Another loose ball. Scooped up by the goaltender, Surrett. Surrett quickly up to Matt Pino. Pino charging in. Has some space. Cuts back to his right. Winds up. Shoots. Fires. Misses wide. Back for possession is Adam Cariveau. UMass Boston will keep possession. Trying to get a Christensen. The pass is knocked down by a defender. Gets it back. Trying to get it away. Can't again. Now he picks it up. Fielded on a hop. Croy Arnold over to the far side and rotated around. To Connor Smith. Smith to Arnold. Croy Arnold with the left-handed pass in front. Trying the one-timer to get it to go with the tap was Cariveau, but he couldn't catch it. He just sort of batted it in the air and knocked it straight down instead of into the net. Under 8 minutes to go in a 2-goal game. Sun starting to set. The lights have taken a little more prevalence here at James Cotter Field as we hit the top of the 5 o'clock hour here in Boston. Behind the net they go. Sailed back out to the top. Flung over to Zervos. Zervos tosses it to Will Hay. Hay gives it back. It's Arnold there defensively. Back to Hay. Beacon's not being too aggressive right now defensively. Connor Smith playing about 10 yards off. Largay. Wrapping around, gets himself in front, winds up, fires, and scores. It's a hat trick for Sean Largay and puts the Pilgrims back up 3 after the Beacons had been within 1.
New England College goal scored by number 88, Sean Largay, his 3rd of the game, completes the hat trick, assist to number 77.
And the assists, of course, to Matt Richard. That's, let me count this up here for a second. Because I actually have to count. It's a number beyond where you can just look down and see it. It's 8 assists. 9 assists. It's all starting to bleed together. 9 assists and a goal for Matt Richard. He's had a hand in 10 of New England College's 11 points. Here come the Beacons. The low cradle, the shuffle pass in front, the shot. Beacons grab it right back. They needed a quick response, and they got it. Cariveau, his second goal of the game. Assist will go to Matt Murphy. Had just one assist last year in his freshman campaign. He ties that total here after winning the faceoff. We'll see what the Beacons do once again, down 2, 11-9. 7 minutes to go in the game. Can Murphy win another one? Yeah, he can and he will. Big win for Matt Murphy. Now can the Beacons score quickly again? Pass goes behind the net to Adam Cariveau. Near side to Arnold. Arnold charging in. Passes it off behind the net to his brother. This is Clay. Clay to the front, to behind the back shot. He scores. What a goal. Adam Cariveau brings them within one. The assist goes to Clay Arnold, his second assist, third point of the day. Cariveau had to spin around to shoot that one. Now the Beacons players telling the bench to get loud. Willem towards the one more goal they need to tie this one up, down 11-10. We have not been tied since the second quarter. Face-off is won by New England College. And they will settle it down with Will Hay in no rush here. Just over 6 minutes to go. Sawsville with it, jogging forward. Behind the net, over to the near side, and out to Pendleton. Hits that one off a foot, rolling towards the sideline. A big hit comes in for Matt Pino. A little too much contact. It will remain Pilgrim ball. Daniel Medved's with it. Medved's starts to his left. Throws it out to the top to Pendleton. The Chalfont, Pennsylvania native, had 31 points last year. Has been held scoreless in this one. Winding up with the right-handed shot. Can't get it on net. Jacob Blanchette back for possession. They've got it under 5 to go now. Beacons down 1, trailing 11-10. Matt Richard. He has 9 assists. Trying to get into double digits. Instead, he'll take a shot. He hits the post. Scrub for the ball in front. It pops out, rolling to the near side. It'll be scooped up by Sean Largay. And 9 assists for Matt Richard in addition to a goal. Under 4:30 to go. Maybe the Beacons need to start stepping up here, get a little more aggressive. That pass goes wide. It'll be Beacons' ball. It's out of bounds. Just in time, stepping up, Jack Dillon challenged the reception of that pass and forced the turnover. Beacons easily get it up to midfield on one pass. This is Murphy. Murphy down to the doorstep. There's the shot. Tie game. Clay Arnold. Back-to-back points. He assists to put him down 1, and he scores to tie it up. Second assist of the game for Murphy. Breaks his season high last year, and with 4:07 to go, we start a new 4-minute game, race to the finish. Beacons have scored back-to-back goals. We're tied for the first time since the second quarter. You got to imagine momentum's with the home team at this point. Face-off won by Arnold. Croy finds his brother on the far side slot. They lob it behind the net to Cariveau. 11-11 your score, under 4 to go. And a timeout called by UMass Boston. They want to figure out what to do here with 3:43 to go. How much time do they want to take off the clock? Who do they want to shoot it, and where do they want to shoot it from? It was pretty much the Pilgrims the whole game. They took a 3-goal lead by halftime. The teams were tied 3 goals apiece in the third quarter, but the Pilgrims never surrendered the lead. The Beacons got within 1 before the Pilgrims stretched it back out. Again, in this quarter, in the fourth quarter, the Pilgrims stretched it back out to as much as 2. They were up 11-9 with about 6 minutes to go, and the Beacons have since tied it on goals from Clay Arnold and Adam Cariveau. The freshman Cariveau has a hat trick. Arnold, playing his first game at the NCAA level, he had played junior college previously, has 4 points, 2 goals, and 2 assists. And Matt Murphy has come alive as of late, winning a couple big face-offs and picking up 2 assists, including the assist on the game-tying goal. He had just 1 assist all of last year. That was his only collegiate point, so doubling his college total in this game. Pilgrims break the huddle. And we will see what the Beacons and head coach Tyler Lowe have drawn up. The unit for the Beacons is Clay Arnold, Adam Cariveau, Will Christensen, Connor Smith, I'm just trying to read him as I see him here, Mike Mulligan, and Croy Arnold. And they almost turn it over. They do. So out of the timeout, a prompt turnover on a wayward pass with 3:30 to go in a tie game. It's the Pilgrims with the ball. And now the Beacons need a turnover of their own. And now a timeout called. No, a whistle for a substitution. The officials are going to discuss.
I have 3:17 on mine. Put the clock at 3:17, Keanu, please.
There appears to be an issue with the clock. Shows 3:30 right now. Officials come over and talk to the scorer's table. 3:18 is the signal from the officials. 3:18. And there it is. 3:18 to go in a tie game, 11-11. New England College with the ball. Nice little cut from Pendleton. Finds him in front. It's Langay. Defense is right there. That's the last guy you want to leave open a shoot again. 95 points last season for the senior from Norwalk, Connecticut. Gets in here, puts it low, and the freshman makes the save in a tie game. Alex Soretta, big-time save. With just under 3 to go, the Beacons have a chance to take a late lead. They have not led in this game. Behind the net, it's Cariveau. Cariveau to the near side. Gets it to Christensen. Christensen over to Smith. Smith to the far side to Arnold. 2:25 on the clock. Arnold driving in, lowers the right shoulder. Fires a shot from an off angle. Beacons will keep this one after the save by Platt. He's in double-digit saves now. Well over double-digit saves. That's his 16th. And we have a player down behind the net. mentioned it is unusually humid for this time of year, and it being an early game in the season, conditioning comes into question, perhaps just a cramp or something of the sorts. Trainers come out. Obviously, you don't want to play trainer at all. It's going to be a de facto timeout there for the Beacons, and the players will quickly come over. Most of them will. A couple stay on the field. I see Clay Arnold over with the injured player. And now jogging into the huddle aid are him and Connor Smith. Didn't see who the injured player was before he went down. I'm being told, so it's Croy Arnold. That's why Clay was over there. And I do see him moving around. Both teams huddled up. The defensive core for UMass Boston has their own huddle going at about the 28-yard line with Alex Surrett. It looks like Arnold's starting to get to his feet now. Looks like he's trying to make his way to his feet. Let's take a look at the stats so far, just kind of get you caught up on where we are. It's been an incredible game for both goaltenders. Despite an 11-11 score, both goaltenders have at times had to stand on their head as Croy Arnold starts to limp off the field slowly but under his own power. 11 saves for Alex Surrett. 8 saves for Alex Surrett, 15 saves for William Platt. The Beacons have over 50 shots in this game, 51. 34 for the Pilgrims. Ground ball is 36-25 in favor of UMass Boston. And the face-offs are 17-8 in favor of the Beacons. So they've led in most of the statistical categories. Arnold has made his way to the sideline. A considerable limp, but still walking on his own as play resumes. 2:14 to go in the fourth quarter, tied at 11. Beacons trying to get the lead for the first time in this game. High pass behind the net, it's handled. Wrapping around, has room, there's the shot, the Beacons have the lead. Adam Cariveau, the freshman, his fourth goal of the game, it's 12-11 Beacons. The assist to Josh Holmes, the freshman assists the freshman on the go-ahead goal. Third point of the game for Holmes, fourth for Cariveau. And now it becomes the Beacons' turn to run out the clock with 2:03 to go. Their first lead. It took them just under 58 minutes. Murphy will take this face-off with Arnold stretching out on the sideline. Here comes the face-off. And it's a clean win for Mike Ring. Beacons quick to pressure, and the Pilgrims go all the way back, and they'll start with their goaltender, William Platt. Platt with a low cradle. Tick, tick, tick. Here goes the clock as the goaltender holds it. 1:45 to go. A bit of a check from Cariveau. Not enough to separate the ball carrier with the ball. That's Medveds. Gets it over to Pendleton. Pendleton now into the offensive third. He touches up. Grinding in on Pino. Flung out to Medveds. Back to Pino. To Largay. Behind the net, Matt Richard. Tries to spin away from his defender. 10 points on the day for Richard, a goal and 9 assists. Trying to create some space. Lobs it in front. It's taken away by the Beacons. The pass was knocked down by Matt Murphy. Now here comes UMass Boston with 51 seconds to go. We'll see if Platt leaves the net. They sail that one high. It's going to roll out of bounds. With 41 seconds to go, the Pilgrims maybe with the last chance. Given a free possession.
Did you stop the clock when I told you to stop the clock?
They get it going again. 36 seconds on the clock. Medvets. Up to the top to Hay. 28 seconds. Thrown out to the slot, to the top. Rotating it back around, the ball's loose. It's a sprint for it. Largay gets there first. Defensively, Dillon trying to poke on it. Did he overcommit? There's the shot. Save by Surratt. The freshman standing on his head in the final minutes. 5 seconds to go. It's a track race at this point. A whistle blows. I'm not sure what it was as the teams come over. A timeout called with 3 seconds to go. It looked like Clay Arnold was going to have a chance to just try to outrun everybody. But the clock is stopped with 3 seconds left in a timeout. Maybe the Beacons took it here to make sure it's not just a guy trying to outrun everybody else, and they have a strategy to hold on to this win. A lot can happen in 3 seconds. Seeing stranger things.
So he signaled like that he did the arm thing when he started it, or did you just hear a whistle? No, you got to make sure when they got to do the arm thing. That's start the clock. It's like a play.
And 12-11, the Beacons coming all the way back, a 5-2 fourth quarter. The lead was never more than 4 by the Pilgrims, but they had been in the lead for most of the game. Since the early stages of the second quarter, the Beacons tied it up with about 5 minutes to go. Took the lead with just over 2 to go. And now with 3 seconds to go, are looking to walk out of here 1-0 on the season. Connor Smith will trigger. They have him double-teamed the goaltender out of the net. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it. The Beacons come from behind and pick up the first win of the year and a win to the rookie, Alex Surratt, who made a couple big saves there down the stretch. He goes the distance in the first game of his collegiate career in the high school All-American from Melrose, Mass. Makes 9 saves on the way to his first career win. Meanwhile, offensively, the freshman producing as well, Adam Cariveau, 4 goals, including the game winner. Josh Holmes, 2 assists and a goal. One of his assists came on the game winner. Clay Arnold, not a freshman, but new to this team, a junior college transfer. 2 goals and 2 assists. Croy Arnold was big at the face-off dot. Other points, Connor Smith had a goal. Matt Dillon had 2. So we run through the final stats here real quick. Shots 51-34 in favor of the Beacons. Let's actually make sure this is up to date here before I give you the final stats. But the Beacons pick up the win. They'll improve to 1-0. New England College will fall to 0-1 on the season. They will have their home opener next week when they face Mount Ina College. Meanwhile, the Beacons will be back at home on Saturday. A 1 o'clock start against Daniel Webster. We'll have that for you right here on the Beacon Broadcast Network. Taking a look at the stats, 52 shots for the Beacons, 35 for New England College, 9 saves for Alex Surratt, 15 saves in the loss for William Platt, 37 ground balls for the Beacons. All the hustle stats favorite the Beacons from here on out. Spoiler alert. 26 saves for New England College. The clears, 13 of 19 for the Beacons, 16 of 22, including a few failed ones late for New England College. Face-off 17-9 in favor of the Beacons. Man-up opportunities. The Beacons were 1 for 5. The Pilgrims were 1 for 3. Although slight more penalty time for the Pilgrims. At the face-off dot individually, Mike Ring was 9 of 23. He was the leader for New England College. Croy Arnold was 14 of 20. Matt Murphy was 3 for 6, including a couple big wins. Will Christensen, the freshman, led the Beacons in shots with 12. He had 1 goal, also committed 2 penalties. Clay Arnold, like I said before, 2 goals and 2 assists. Jack Dillon with 2 goals. Adam Cariveau with the hat trick plus 1. A very efficient 4 goals on 8 shots to go with 4 ground balls. Croy Arnold led the Beacons with 9 ground balls. All right, before we go, a couple people here we need to thank. Her first, we'll take a look one more time at the schedule, what's up ahead. Like I mentioned, Daniel Webster at home on Saturday. We'll have your coverage of that one. And the Beacons will play their first road game next week, a week from tomorrow, I believe, at Nichols College. They return home to take on Johnson in Wales. We'll have that for you as well on March 11th on the Beacon Broadcast Network. Then on the road for 2 to upstate New York and Oneonta, New York to take on Hartwick. And then back home for a de facto road game in the city limits at MIT. Before we go, you've heard me blab on for the last 2 hours, but there are some people pushing the buttons and making it all look so good. Lauren, I apologize. I'm going to butcher your name here. Lauren Mitsiaris. Lauren Mitsiaris, the director, did a fantastic job. Gigi Braga on camera, who I know is just trying to kill some time until baseball season starts tomorrow. So looking forward to that. We'll have coverage of that game for you as well on the Beacon Broadcast Network. And Seth Orensky producing, and you heard him on the PA mic as well. For everybody there and everybody in the Beacon Broadcast Network family and the Sports Information Department here at UMass Boston, I am Alex Barth. Your final score one more time, UMass Boston 12, New England College 11. It's a win in the home opener for UMass Boston. We'll see you Saturday when the Beacons take on Daniel Webster College. Thanks for watching.